We're going to use a T25 Torx bit to remove this screw and this screw on the driver's side upper grille panel. Once we remove those, we're going to repeat for the other side. Using our T25 Torx bits, you're going to want to go ahead and remove a series of these Torx bit screws on the inside of the fender well liner. There should be 5 of them. Ours is missing just a couple of them here, and then there's a 5th one up facing upward. So let's start at the bottom and get these removed. Repeat for the other side. Underneath the bumper, we're going to go ahead and remove a series of these T25 screws. There should be one here. We're missing one there. We'll get that one beside it. Move right across the front. I'm going to go ahead and grab the bumper, pull it away from the fender. As we do that, I'm going to work our way around towards the middle. Do the same for the driver's side. Go ahead and pull the whole bumper with the grill straight forward. The lower corner pieces of the bumper here are removable. We're just going to reach around to the back side of the bumper and just tap the cover out. Go ahead and release this from the bumper clips. Do this for the other side. When installing the fog light, you want to go ahead and install these tabs into these notches in the bumper. And then we're going to go ahead and put a screw through this tab into the bumper itself. And we'll go ahead and install the screw, and we'll snug that down. Once we have that screw installed and snug down, let's go ahead and install our trim bezel. We can install the lower corner first. Pressing these trim locks in. Repeat for the other side. We have our harness laid out here. What we have is our relay and our fuse with a red wire that comes off. You follow it down, this is going to be to battery power. Follow this through and it goes to one fog light connector. Continue through, it comes to another fog light connector with a ground wire. You want to connect that to somewhere metal on the chassis. Continue it through, brings us to this portion of the harness. This green connector goes to this connector to your interior power switch. And we have 2 last connectors right here, a ground and a power wire to the ignition. Using a 10mm wrench, we're going to go ahead and remove or loosen the nut for the terminal and install our fog light connector right here. I'm going to follow this across the bottom here to our other connector. Connect our fog light here. Press it on until it clips. On the passenger side, we have a section of harness to run up into the engine compartment, and on the driver's side, we have the switch harness to run up into the engine compartment. So let's go ahead and slide the bumper up to the vehicle, and then we're going to run these up into the engine compartment in the most logical place to secure them. I'm going to pull our harness up right in front of the air box. Go ahead and set that aside. On the passenger side, we're going to run the harness up. And that is going to go in front of the AC lines. go ahead and grab the bumper. There's a point where it can at least go ahead and hang the bumper. Gonna line this up and get our screws hand started here. Once we get these 4 screws hand started, we're gonna go ahead and clip the bumper onto the fenders. Line up the bumper with the tabs on the fender. Go ahead and get that popped in. Repeat for the driver's side. Now let's secure the 4 screws on the top of the grille. Alright, gonna go ahead and put our screw up in from our bumper into the fender. Install our upper liner screw. We'll go ahead and finish up with the rest of our screws. Once we're done here, we'll go ahead and repeat for the driver's side. Going to install our screws across the bottom of the bumper. All right, and once you do these here, go ahead and repeat for the rest. So we ran the harness up the passenger side front, up and over. We ran it underneath the headlamp, and we have our relay right here and our fuse. We're just going to go ahead and tuck these in here so they're readily accessible if you need to replace that fuse for any reason. Then we ran the battery wire up underneath our reservoir, up underneath and behind the insulated pad. So we put the eyelet on the back side of this bolt here. That way when we tighten this nut, it won't spin the cable out of position. So I'll go ahead and tighten this down. Go ahead and install your ground terminal here. And we'll snug that up. Let's go ahead and take our ground wire from the harness. We have the red, the yellow, and the black. We're going to go to the fuse box under the hood. Going to put this underneath, and then put our terminal back on for the ground. Once this is tight, I'm going to go ahead and repeat for the positive wire. Hook up the red wire to this side. Now I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the extra wire from the harness. Just going to zip tie this up. Just tuck that down underneath here. I'm going to go ahead and install our fuse cover. And once you have the wire run through the firewall and we have our switch here, we chose to put that right here. We just run that wire up underneath the dash and we'll zip tie that up underneath. All right, let's go ahead and test out the fog lights. On, off, on, off. Beautiful.